Hi everyone! We just finished Fire Rally's Junior Elite Tour. It was a big day for everyone in Wemet. Our student Sean has won boys single under 17 category. How do you feel about your win, Sean?
Yesterday was a good day in terms of results, but more than that, in terms of the process, it's been very joyful with the support of all the Wemet staff, the coaches, and all the mentors. More than the result itself, the process was good, it was helpful, and I look forward to having more good days like this into more tournaments and try to keep the form and try to have better results even in international and more national tournaments.
For the coaches, how do you guys feel about Sean's win?
I've had a very good day yesterday with almost 5 medals coming in all the categories, including 3 women's and 1 bronze in under 19 singles and 1 under 17 gold. And we are very happy with the way they have performed, and we are looking forward to more medals in the upcoming tournaments as well.
Coach Joko, how do you feel about Sean's win?
Oke, thank you. Terima kasih untuk Son yang kemarin sudah menjuarai turnamen di kategori 17 tahun ke bawah, yang mana turnamen berikutnya jauh lebih baik ya, untuk turnamen-turnamen selanjutnya. Ya, harapan saya supaya terus continue lebih baik dan jauh lebih baik pertandingan-pertandingan.
Sean, when you were younger, what inspired you to choose badminton as your sport?
That's a very interesting story, that one. It's because when I was a child, when I was still in Kerala, I was just a little boy, and then I saw my sister playing badminton, and then I also wanted to play. So you could say that my sister kind of made me start playing badminton. So thank you, big sis.
Now that you have mentioned your sister, how has your family supported you throughout your badminton journey? Did you feel that support along the way?
For sure, yeah. My dad, my mom, and my sister, the family for has been a very good support. Especially my mom coming to watch all my matches, my dad from outside giving me motivation, giving me speeches. I think there's been a lot of support, and they helped me get here.
As we talk about family support, I'd like to invite someone very special in Sean's journey. Sean's father is here with us today. Welcome, Coach. Could you please introduce yourself briefly?
I'm basically a cricket coach. I've been a player. I've been a cricket player turned cricket coach now. I do a bit of coaching, and unfortunately, my son is playing badminton. And again, it is one sport I always used to enjoy and used to play once I was a small kid. But later on, I started playing cricket, which was giving me the food.
When Sean chose badminton as his sport, did you ever consider guiding him towards cricket? Or was it always his own decision?
In sport, it is not a good idea to force somebody to choose a sport or to enjoy that sport. That's not going to happen. It's like once he got in love with the game, it's like I was happy that he's having a purpose into it. He's having that focus. He's willing to learn, and he was most of it. It's like he was enjoying the stuff he was doing. So I would have loved to see him play cricket, but being a team sport, I would have loved to see him enjoying the team atmosphere and have more friends. But badminton has been good for him. He has been loving this game, and even though it's not my first sport, I love to see him enjoying it and going through this journey really well with some good people around.
I asked Sean and the coaches earlier about his victory. How do you personally feel about his win?
I would say he has been training really well. In sport, it is not just about the results. It's about how well he can go through the whole journey. All those learnings. It's like even the days when he was not getting the right kind of results, in case of winning the titles. I'm very sure that those days which was not giving him the title or the big wins, that was teaching him a lot of things. And and I'm sure he will continue to learn, he will continue to enjoy, and I'm sure if the days like this where everyone can have a bit of happiness, we will continue to do that, but at the same time there will be days where he will not be able to have to stand right in front of. Maybe there will be days where he will not be standing in the center under the champion's tag, but I'm sure there will be days, those will be days where he will be learning, understanding about life and about the game as well.
I'm curious about something. In Wemet, Sean always looks cheerful, bright, positive, and obviously very serious and focused during the training. I know he might not answer this himself, so I'd like to ask you, has he ever gone through a period where he felt really down or at his lowest in his journey until now?
I think it's a privilege, I would say. It's like kids at this age where they just go to school, they study well, get some marks. They don't have to go through this. That's something I was sharing with him. It's like it's a privilege that you are able to enjoy this pressure, enjoy this failures, enjoy a bit of success here and there. That's good. But it's like to go through this, to prepare for a big day, to prepare for a big tournament, a big opponent, going into the finals or maybe going into a very pressure match. That is not for everyone to have. It's like I'm sure in his little journey till now, he would have had many bad days where everyone would have thought he would have won something. He would have lost. He would have felt helpless. But at the same time, it's like that is not a bad thing to happen for a kid. He can continue to learn from that, and he can get inspired from those kind of bad days. I'm sure he has gone through it, and maybe more than him, his mom would have felt so bad once he would have lost maybe an easy game, maybe a tough game. But at the same time, it's like me being a professional sportsman. I know those are not bad days; those are good days where it's like if we can get the right things out of what has happened, and with the right people around, it's not a bad thing to happen. I'm sure he's not having the best of the days. Just before this tournament as well, he was having a break. He was not able to train well, but at the same time, it's like he was not shying away from a fight or a great tournament. So that is something that touched me to take that risk and get in here to participate in this.
I want to ask the coaches, has Sean's father ever given any feedback about Sean's training? Or let's say even raise a concern about it?
Bapaknya Sean mendukung sekali terkait dengan latihan yang diberikan sama saya, yang mana dia juga paham sebagai pelatih kriket, ya. Dia paham sekali akan latihan untuk Sean, yang mana Sean ini perkembangannya memang sangat luar biasa, yang mana dari Wemet juga support, dari semua manajemen yang ada di Wemet support sekali. Jadi ketika kita berlatih sama Sean, semuanya mendukung untuk kemajuan Sean, khususnya orang tua yang luar biasa untuk support Sean.
I couldn't understand what he is telling, but it's like to that thing, what I believe is, I might be knowing a bit about this game. It's like I might be able to find out a little more details into how this game should be played or how things can be done. But eventually, what has happened to me, and so I also do a bit of coaching in cricket. But what I would say is, even if it's something that I really know, the coach having a connection with the kid and kid having the same. Clearly it was Vishali and now it's Vishal and Joko. It's about that connection the kid is having with his coach. And parent, I would say their role is limited to understand whether he is comfortable, he is learning, he is enjoying it. It's like, and if we are looking at the results, I'm sure he didn't have the best of the results earlier, or he was not been a champion earlier as well. But if I'm thinking about the result and connecting it with the coaching, I'm sure it's not the right way to do it. It's not about the results, but it's about the process. How well he's enjoying it, and I'm sure there is a lot of it's a big journey, long journey where it's like he will evolve as a person, he will evolve as a player. So we have to have the trust in the coaching and the coaches. So otherwise, we will have our opinions, we will all have our own version of how what would have done. But God, we have to understand that somebody who has been a world ranking player or somebody who has won the Asian Challenge, we are not better than them. It's like they know it better. They have got years of experience. So we got to trust that, and we got to be with them, and it's like whatever support from the outside. Maybe if we need a pickup, of course we can do that. And even as parents, we should not be finding fault. It's like I'm sure it's like it's sport. He's not going to win everything. He is going to have better opponents for sure. So it's for him to catch up with those and enjoy that process than finding out why he couldn't win it. That is, and luckily for him, he's got the right people around where it's like he's been trained well. He's been especially with this mentality with Vishal and Joko and the whole team of Wemet, helping him to have that mentality, which is not something easy for coaching. It's like it has to be done in coaching and not in the real scenario of a match. So that is a big difference I've seen in him to come back from something, and I have to thank the whole team of women coaches to instill that kind of a mentality.
I think since he is also a sports person, I think he can relate well with this, and I guess all the coaches will not have any problem with him.
No, it's not that it's like I will never have any problem with the coach or the coaching, but it's like we have to understand and trust what we are. It's absolutely fair on a parent to change or it's like work or do something different, because it's not me. It's about the kid. If the kid is not comfortable, if the kid is not learning, if he is not feeling the best, that is where we should be thinking of something different. But if he is if he is comfortable, if he is enjoying his process, we should try our best to just be with him on that.
Now my question is for Coach Tony. Sean is training here in Wemet. What do you think, or what do you feel about his training here in Wemet?
I know what the coach has been doing to my kid in terms of giving him the right technique, the right mentality, right guidance, discipline, everything, and I'm so happy about it. But at the same time, as an owner, the things Nancy is doing to Sean, it's like to take him into Wemet and make him comfortable. And I was telling my wife that he spends more time in Wemet than in my house. So, but at the same time, what I felt is it's not just about giving you the right infra or giving you the right opportunities, but at the same time giving the care and support system. It's not easy. You really need to have that passion to get the best out of your trainees, and I could see that in Wemet, especially Nancy. Even when there was water around, Sean was calling Nancy and finding a way to come to Wemet to train. So that shows it's like they got the trust in the system, in the club, so that it's like he can move forward with whatever obstacles around. So that is something that has touched us, and that gave us confidence to leave him with this Wemet family whenever there is an opportunity. And I'm sure Sean himself wanted to be like that. He never wanted to be back home, or even once I am away going for matches or any assignment. You don't want to come home in the sense like you don't want to travel to this country and do something different. He wanted to be here in Wemet family, and I feel that is one big sign that he's enjoying this process.
It's a pleasure to hear some words from Sean's father. Sean, do you have any question for your coaches?
Yeah, I've been waiting to ask this one for a long time. First one for both the coaches, how does it feel? I mean, what's the difference from going from a average or just a national player to an international, winning international challenges and tournaments? How does it feel? Or what is the change that you made to become an international player?
The journey is the same as we start from the beginning to the national, international. It's the same. You put in the work, and it's just about the process and the hard work that you dedicate in the time on the court and off the court, doing your stuff and having the feel like you're in the right path to your goal. And there's no much big difference from going from a national player to the international player. It's because you have come to the level of national player. It's because of you putting the same efforts day in and out from the beginning. So it's the same after that as well. And you carry it forward and you just trust the process and keep improving on yourself and you'll reach there.
Thank you, Shah. Coach.
Baik, ketika saya menjadi pemain itu memang ada acuan buat saya untuk maju jauh lebih baik. Yang mana saya berangkat dari pemain klub, ingin menjadi pemain nasional dan ingin juga menjadi level yang tertinggi di nasional. Yang mana itu juga butuh proses. Semua kerja keras yang akan dihasilkan itu tetap dari datang dari sini. Pelatih, orang tua semua hanya support saja. Proses yang paling akurat itu dari diri sendiri. Kalau kamu bisa, kamu kuat nahan capek, bahkan prosesnya akan lebih baik.
I also have something to add on that. What is the most difficult problem or obstacle that you face on the way to becoming a better player, international player?
The main difficulty is convincing my parents because of the financial instability in taking up the sport, because it takes a lot of money and finance to take part in international tournaments, and it's very difficult without any sponsorship or funding to go around the world, take part in tournaments, compete and be there. Even though if you are a good player, if you are not financially strong in this, then it becomes a very hard part to convince the people around you as well to go ahead with the life you have planned for yourself.
Tantangannya buat jadi pemain itu yaitu harus bisa mengalahkan diri kita sendiri. Yang mana kalau kita sudah bisa mengalahkan diri kita sendiri, itu semuanya bisa jadi biasa. Yang paling penting kita semua pemain itu adalah musuh yang paling kuat. Jadi kita punya motivasi untuk berbenah terus dari awal sampai akhir by proses.
Before this, you guys were players, and I know that you still are, because you are still joining tournaments. How do you feel now, from being a player to becoming a coach, and now coaching young players?
The journey has been great, and seeing them perform and improving and learning new stuff, it's been a great thing to know. And in the process, we are also learning how to improve their game aspect and mental aspect and everything actually as a whole, and prepare for a tournament. So we get to learn a lot, and still I am playing. It's just been a very useful thing for me to apply and see how it goes as well for me. And yeah.
Yang pasti ketika kita jadi pemain dan sekarang jadi pelatih, itu paling gampang itu jadi pemain, karena pemain itu tidak memikirkan apa-apa, cuma konsentrasi untuk pertandingan. Lalu pelatih kita buat program seperti apa, hari ini, besok, lusa, terus buat program. Kedua, memikirkan pada anak didik, ini kenapa? Ini yang misalnya fisiknya kurang bagus, tekniknya kurang bagus, terus dipikirkan seperti itu. Jadi kalau misalnya kita boleh jujur, lebih enak jadi pemain daripada pelatih. Dan mungkin zamannya era saya sama futsal itu terlalu jauh banget. Dulu kita mau pertandingan 3 bulan sekali. Kalau sekarang era futsal itu pertandingan 2 minggu, 3 minggu udah mulai pertandingan. Jadi pada saat itu memang kalau kita boleh kembali milih lagi, yang enak jadi pemain, tidak memikirkan apa, konsentrasinya di pertandingan aja.
Since we are here in the UAE, how do you feel about the badminton in here in UAE?
There has been a very good progress of promoting badminton in UAE recently, and they have started the national camps, and they have been promoting it very much to the localites here as well, the Emiratis, and everyone. And the juniors have a lot of tournaments here compared to the senior level. Seniors hardly have 2 tournaments around the year, but the juniors have a very regular setup, which would lead to the seniors. And I hope they conduct even more senior tournaments coming up in UAE, and we could all see where it is heading towards. Yeah.
Sean, you have experienced badminton training in India. Now that you're here in the UAE, how do you feel about the badminton in the UAE compared to India?
As Michelle said, there's a lot of junior tournaments around there. I think it's a BWF level, BWF style of tournaments where there's 6 tournaments per year and there's an elite tour final at the end of the year. So it's a great environment here in the UAE where the system gives us a lot of exposure to tournaments. There's a lot of junior tournaments which can lead us to improve and reach an international level here in the UAE. And there's a proper system for the national team and talent identification, and yeah, it's a very good system, and hopefully I can also be in the national team and play international tournaments one day.
Kalau melihat pemain bulu tangkis yang ada di UAE itu berbeda. Karena kenapa? Di UAE itu untuk bulu tangkis itu di nomor 2 kan, yang nomor 1 itu adalah sekolah. Jadi 90% sekolah, tapi ada beberapa sekolah yang juga presentasi ke bulu tangkis hanya 10%. Jadi 90% untuk sekolah. Berbeda dengan di kita di Indonesia. Harapan saya untuk di UAE kedepannya tangkis ini menjadi animo besar ya buat